Welcome to Richmond International Raceway here on NASCAR Heat 5, and we are rocking and rolling here for round 29 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. It's MotorMaster Monday, and we have 20 drivers here gathered for the Richmond 250, and it is a 125-lap event. Cameron Norton in the one on the pole for this race. Locked into the playoffs based on points, or comfortably safely in there based on points. Looking for the win here tonight, following his teammate Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. And they're all chasing the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith, the driver of the number 10 Chevy Camaro for Bruv Motorsports. It is the final regular season race of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. A lot of these drivers coming in with high hopes and a must-win situation for some of these drivers, such as Dustin Franklin, Ryan Schreck, Timmy Brown in the number 9 car, and others. I'm NASCAR CEO Tyler McMurder, alongside the two in-race reporters joining me here. Driver of the 1, driver of the 16, Cameron Norton and Alex Tesdahl. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton. Cameron, you started on pole for this race. You led the first 3 or 4 laps. And Matt Smith took over the lead, and since then you've been battling inside the top 5. How's the car feeling?
It's a little bit loose. I think we can make a few adjustments just to make it a little bit better. Honestly, we're just going to keep running our race. I feel confident about tonight, and I just hit the wall there, but, you know, it's all right.
Still rocking and rolling and have a good track position. And throwing it down to the in-race reporter of driver of the 16, that is Alex Tesdahl. Alex, you have 2 wins this season. You're locked into the playoffs. How's the car feeling for you in stage 1?
The car's a bit loose, but I think it's on the stage 3.
So a lot of these drivers dealing with a loose condition early in the going here. Stage 1, round 29 here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. Richmond International Raceway. A lot of these drivers, one of their favorite tracks to come to. Short track racing is the name of the game here tonight, and they're all chasing Matt Smith, the driver of the 10. He's got 7 wins this season and 2 more, and he would have the most this season of all active drivers. 3 more, and he would tie the record for the most wins in a single season, held by Noco just last year in 2020 on NASCAR Heat 4. And he's being chased by Jordan Dorsek, the driver of the number 74. Comes into tonight with 8 wins, and he's looking to break that record as well. And the battle for third on back kind of looks like this. Josh Colm-Diaz, the driver of the 7, coming off a strong win earlier, a strong performance earlier tonight at Darlington Raceway, nearly walking away with the win in that one, and he's got 3rd right now. He's got Aaron Garcia in the 98 just behind him, running in the 4th position. And a good save there by him. And a lot of these drivers dealing with the loose coming out of the turns condition, especially over there coming out of turn 2. It allowed Aaron in the 98 to get a bit of a run. Looked to the inside, wasn't able to get enough of a run to get alongside him. And now Aaron had to lift through 1 and 2, that most recent time by. That allowed Josh in the 7 in that red car to drive away a little bit, and it allowed Thomas Kohick in the 07 to get alongside him and battle for the 4th position. Contact was made between the 2, and Dustin Franklin in the 11, popping all the way to the inside, making it 3 wide, and he's going to take the 4th position away. And the big thing about that, folks, he needs a win to get into the playoffs. Mathematically, he is unable to point his way in. He's not going to catch Jason Armstrong in the 12 based on points, so what he needs here tonight is a win, and that would bump Jason Armstrong, the driver of the number 12 Ford Mustang, out of a playoff spot. It's really close, and it's coming down to the final race of the regular season for some of these drivers. Battle for the lead still looks like this, about 8 car lengths separating the 2. Matt Smith leads, Jordan Dorsek in 2nd, and it's Josh Colm-Diaz in 3rd, Dustin Franklin in the 11 and 4th, Aaron Garcia in the 98, rounding out the top 5, Jason Doro in the black and lime green Chevy Camaro. I love that paint job. He's running in the 6th position, right there with these guys. Thomas Kohick in 7th, and the pole sitter Cameron Norton running in 8th. About 12 laps remaining now. They're clicking off quickly, and we saw contact made there. This is a battle for the 9th position between Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61, Trey Hollywood in the 8 car, Jordan Roughton in the 18, Jesse Carlson in the 20, and Rob Shin in the number 99 Toyota. Good for him to join us here for another NASCAR MotorMaster Series race. Runs part-time with us. To the inside went Aaron Garcia in the 98 to make a pass on Dustin Franklin, and that was for the 4th position. This is all happening about 3-4 car lengths behind Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, who's got a firm lock on 3rd place at the time here. And the top 5 in these stages receive the stage points, so these drivers that are running in this pack that we're watching, this is critical for them if they need points. How about Trey Hollywood? Coming off a strong run at the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park this past Friday for the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series. Ran strong in the top 10 all race long and finished in 11th. And had a good run going here earlier tonight at Darlington as well. Whoa, got a little bit loose coming out of turn 2, and that's what I was talking about. These drivers are really having to fight these cars, especially coming out of turn 2. Teammates battling here. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61. Jesse Carlson in the 20 for Juicy J Motorsports. The team owner in the 61 trying to hold off the youngster in the 20. Jesse Carlson has 3 wins this season, and all of which came on road courses. He's been quite the road course ringer here in 2021 on NASCAR Heat 5. He also races with us on Gran Turismo Sport. Back up near the front, the leaders have put a lap on Ryan Schreck in the 19. As of now, he's in the position to be the first car 1 lap down to get the free pass at the end of the stage here. And Jordan's kind of, thanks a bunch, getting the update from the in-race reporter Cameron Norton. 7 laps remaining in stage 1. The leaders working their way through 3 and 4 now, and it's Matt Smith leading the way with Jordan Dorsek in second, and it kind of looks like Jordan's creeping in on him just a little bit.
74 car is fast. Whenever we were doing qualifying, he was pretty quick on the longer run. Look out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Fast everywhere he goes as well. It seems like he doesn't have a bad race, and if he does, it's some sort of incident during the race that kind of puts him there. And another strong run going for him here at Richmond. 5 laps to go in stage 1. He's beginning to reel in Matt Smith just a little bit. These 2 drivers combined for 15 wins this season. Battle for 3rd is heating up a little bit, and it appears that the handling is going away a little bit on the 7 car. He runs in 3rd, and he had a bit of a gap in front of this group of drivers, but now Aaron Garcia in the 98 has caught him, and he's battling with him pretty hard for that 3rd position. Dustin Franklin in the 11 scored in 5th, just behind them. He's got a front row seat for this battle. There you see Dustin. Again, folks, he needs a win. He wants to punch his ticket into the playoffs. It's going to take a win for that number 11 car, and that would put all of the Bruv Motorsports cars into the playoffs, with the exception of Dave Marks Jr. in the 51, who has begun to more or less race a part-time schedule as of late. Jason Doro in the 08 runs in 6th. Thomas Kohick in the 07 runs in 7th. Cameron Norton runs in 8th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. running in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Jesse Carlson. 2 laps to go, I believe it is, and pit road is closed. Oh, yes, they are. And a couple of cars are going to go a lap down right before the end of this stage, it looks like. And the white flag has been shown to these drivers. Matt Smith puts a lap on Trenton Krentz in the 36 and Timmy Brown in the 9. Jordan Dorsek was not able to find a way around those 2. These 2 drivers are battling to be the free pass car at the end of the stage. A power move to the inside by Trenton Krentz, and he's actually going to get the free pass at the end of stage 1. And the stage 1 win goes to Matt Smith. Jordan Dorsek is going to take 2nd, and it was Aaron Garcia in the 98 that claimed the 3rd spot. But we'll get the rest of the top 5 from our in-race reporter, Alex Tesdahl, the driver of the 16.
Flash 9, J-Wow, Black Cross, Dustin, NASCAR being your top 5.
How about that? So Dustin Franklin actually jumped up in there to get 4th, and Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 dropped a couple of spots to finish 5th, right all in those final couple of laps here for Stage 1 at Richmond. And it was key to see who was going to be the free pass car at the end of the stage, because Timmy Brown in the 9 is one of those drivers that needs a win coming into tonight to make the playoffs, and now he is actually going to be stuck one lap down because Trenton Krentz in the 36 was able to get around him and get that free pass. Jordan Roughton in the 18 came into tonight also needing a win to advance his way into the playoffs. And some of these drivers have good track position. Some of these drivers have good cars, and they've just been kind of mired in traffic. Let's see what happens, folks. The green flag is in the air for Stage 2. Matt Smith leads. Jordan Dorsek in 2nd, and they're 3 wide for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Dustin Franklin with a power move all the way down to the bottom underneath Josh Colm-Diaz and Aaron Garcia, and they're 3 wide again, but this time they've just all changed lanes. This time it's through 1 and 2. They survived. Looked like it was Josh in the 7 that maybe got a little bit loose out of all 3 of those drivers, but he held on to it and he gained a spot out of the deal. Thomas Kohick, Cameron Norton, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., they all have a front row seat for this huge battle just in front of them, along with Jason Doro, Trey Hollywood, and others. Matt Smith driving away, Jordan Dorsek in 2nd driving away a little bit as well. So they both have some breathing room, and the battle continues to rage on here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Closest driver to the front that needs a win to punch his ticket into the playoffs is Dustin Franklin in the 11, and he's up there in 4th, looking to the inside of Aaron Garcia. There was contact made between the two, and Cameron Norton in the 1, the pole sitter, is jumping to the inside looking for that 4th position himself. Top 3 have kind of separated themselves now from the rest of the field. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. That red Chevy Camaro has kind of gotten some breathing room for himself, and he's driven away from this pack. It's Dustin Franklin leading the group, and he's in 4th. Jason Doro in the 08 car is now up into 5th, and that's the highest he's run all race long, slowly but surely, methodically working his way forward. Action all over this racetrack. One of the favorites for these drivers that we come to. A lot of them were talking about their lap times and getting really excited for this race and saying that this was arguably their best shot of all the final 4 or 5 races of the regular season to go up there and get a win and get into the playoffs. One of those drivers is Jordan Roughton. There he is in the 18. He's being challenged by Alex Tesdall in the 16, and Alex lifted a little bit to give him the corner back, and around goes Trenton Krentz in the 36. That was a little bit deeper in the field. He recovered pretty quickly, no serious damage to the car, and he's pardon me, he's rolling again. Remember, he just took the free pass to get back on the lead lap. And an update on Ryan Schreck. He won a lap down in Stage 1, and it appears he's got some front end damage and he's done for the day and parked motionless on pit road. 20 drivers started the race, and most of them still out there working their way through Stage 2 right now. Riding along with the pole sitter, Cameron Norton. He's got a playoff spot as of now based on points, and he's got a strong car here for Richmond International Raceway. No wins for him this season, but he's come close on a couple of different occasions, and this very well could be his night, folks, to get his first career NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series win.
Same track I won my first race at in the Cup.
Hey, well, there you have it. Whoa, and a bold move just behind him. That was Aaron Garcia in the 98. There might have even been a little bit of contact made between he and the 11 of Dustin Franklin. No serious harm done. Both drivers have it pointed in the right direction still, and still have some space in between themselves in the group that's just behind them. They're battling pretty hard there. It's Trey Hollywood in the 8 car rather, and it's Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61 just behind him, along with Thomas Kohick in the 07 and Robbie Shin in the number 99 Toyota Camry, the Toyota Supra. Making all sorts of mistakes tonight. We're all still chasing the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith. 7 wins this season, the points leader, and he's got the regular season championship clinch, so he will be given those additional 15 playoff points, which pretty much all but confirms his entry into the round of 4. It's been strong all season. Tell you who else has been strong all season: Jordan Dorsek in the 74. 8 wins this season, 2nd in the point standings.
Teammate Josh to 2nd.
Yeah, I was just about to touch on that. Jordan just dropped to the 3rd position. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car. No wins for him this season, but he's locked into the playoffs based on points. He just took over 2nd and passed a driver that has 8 wins this season to do it. So very impressive. And maybe it's his night to get his first win of the season. He has MotorMaster Series wins in his career, just none in 2021 here on NASCAR Heat 5. Jason Doro in the black and lime green 08 Chevy Camaro. He's right there with these drivers. He didn't get stage points in stage 1. He comes into this race 3rd in the point standing, so he doesn't necessarily need points or a win to punch his way into the playoffs. He's got a ticket to the playoffs, but he's now up into 4th, and he's gaining ground on the leader. 6 to go here in stage 2.
16.
Oh, 16 rather. Okay, thank you. Top 5 get the stage points. It's Matt Smith, Josh Colm-Diaz, Jordan Dorsek, Jason Doro, and Aaron Garcia at the top 5 right now. Cameron Norton running in 6th. Dustin Franklin in 7th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. working his way forward in 8th. And Thomas Kohick in the 07 car runs in 9th. And it's Rob Shin in the 99, rounding out the top 10. Jesse Carlson in 11th. Trey Hollywood in 12th. Alex Tesdall 13th. Jason Armstrong 14th, just to give you a bit of an idea on where your favorite drivers might be running. And Jordan Roughton in 15th. And they're all chasing Matt Smith. Didn't see exactly what happened there, but Josh Colm-Diaz had just finished taking 2nd from Jordan Dorsek in the 74, but now that we're checking in with him again, not only has he lost 2nd, but he's lost 3rd as well, and he's the 3rd car in line in your frame when the camera shot backs up a little bit, but he's now running P4 on the racetrack, and it kind of looks like similar story to stage
like he
1.
got loose.
Yeah,
off the corner and went into the grass.
Similar story to stage 1, I would think. It kind of looked like his car got a little too loose for him the longer that the run went, but the mid-run and the short run, the car is there. So if he can get some track position for the beginning of the final stage, who knows? He might be able to drive up there, take the lead, and then maybe hold on to it for when it does begin to get loose on him.
And 11 to go.
You heard it from in-race reporter Cameron Norton, driver of the 1, the pole sitter for this race, currently scored in the 7th position. Dustin Franklin running in 6th, just in front of him. Needs a win to get into the playoffs. He's had a strong car since the drop of the green flag, and he's been running inside the top 10 since the drop of the green flag as well. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61, still showing good speed as well. Really like the paint job on that car. Same paint job is available for the number 16 truck on this game, and it's often run by Beam SKP, the full-time driver out of France, and Jeffrey shares the same paint job here, but in the 61 car, in the Xfinity cars here, the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series. He was able to complete a pass on Cameron Norton in the 1 that was for 7th. Contact made between Cameron and Thomas. Thomas is in the 07 car. And that allowed Jesse Carlson in the 20 and Rob Shin in the 99 to gain some ground on both of them.
get a good handle on this car for the longer run, that'd be better.
Oh, and problems for Jordan Dorsett coming out of turn 4. As soon as we put the camera on him, he got really out of shape. I think he even made contact with the wall that allowed Jason Doro in the 08 car to close right in on him, and that's the battle for second. Yeah, this is well behind Matt Smith in the 10, who's got a commanding lead here in Stage 2 of Richmond International Raceway, looking for his 8th win of the season. That would tie him with Jordan Dorsett for most wins this season. Jordan's got a battle of his own right now. Jason in the 08 car just took that second position away. He's got 3 wins this season, the driver of the 08 does, and looking for number 4, and he's slowly but surely working his way forward. I touched on this in Stage 1. He had worked his way up into 4th, and he was gaining ground on the race leaders. Now all the way up into 2nd, and the drivers running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th have kind of grouped up again a little bit. They were kind of on their own and getting spread out and stretching their legs a little bit and finding the line that they like to run, but now the battle is on for those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th positions, and all of them are going to get stage points as long as they can keep their cars pointed in the right direction for another 3 laps here, according to our in-race reporter, Cameron Norton. So in one more lap, pit road will be closed. 2 to go at the end of Stage 1 and Stage 2. Pit road always closes, and it's a rule that we have in place, especially for the bigger tracks where drivers tend to try to sneak down pit road and then stay out to take a wave around or stay out to get all that track position. So we minimize that, and they'll have 2 lap-old fresher tires if they were to do that legally. And at a short track like Richmond, you definitely don't want to do that. Matt Smith in the 10, working his way through 3 and 4 now, coming out to the start-finish line to take the white flag in Stage 2. One more lap until he sees the green and white checkered flags to signal the end of Stage 2, and it would be another stage win in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series career for Matt Smith. Won both stages in the Darlington race earlier tonight, did not walk away with the winner. He's won both stages here at Richmond. Let's see how he does in the final stage. Stage 2 goes to Matt Smith. And Trenton Krentz in the 36, you saw him. He's going to survive and stay on the lead lap there at the end of this stage. Got the free pass at the end of Stage 1. And this will give the free pass to another driver that is stuck 1 lap down. Might even be Timmy Brown in the 9. We'll get an update for you on the top 5 from our in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall.
Top 5 is Flash, JWell, Mucka, NASCAR King, Blackcross.
And who is the first car 1 lap down? Don't forget to pit either.
Timmy Brown.
All right, well, that's perfect.
He's 2 down on my screen.
Yeah, but he's still the free pass.
Okay, well, 1 lap given back to Timmy Brown in the 9 car. He was the first car a lap down, but he was actually 2 laps down to your race leader, Matt Smith. But he needs a win here tonight to get himself into the playoffs, so a lap back is a step in the right direction for the former Brickyard 200 winner, Timmy Brown. They're all lined up double file now for the final stage of the regular season. Let it all hang loose, boys. If you need a win, get up there and go take it. The green flag is back in the air. You're watching the Richmond 250, round 29 of the 2021 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series. It was a clean first lap. We've been lean, mean, clean, and green since the drop of the green flag here for the Richmond 250. No cautions for on-track incidents. Matt Smith leads. Jason Doro is in 2nd. Aaron Garcia is in 3rd. Up the hill went Jason Doro. So now to the bottom goes Aaron Garcia in the 98. 2 Fords trying to run down the Chevy. Jordan has now found his way back into the 4th position. He has not been running this far down the running order since stage 1. Contact was made between those 3 drivers there. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61 got a piece of it. Alex Tesdall in the 16. Excuse me, it was actually Dustin Franklin in the 11 that had a front row seat for that. And that's the highest that the 61 car has been all race long as he works his way to 5th. Oh, contact was made there between the 7 and the 61. Really aggressive driving by Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. Josh is going to hold on to 5th. Dustin Franklin in the 11 draws even with Jeffrey Robinson Jr., and that's for 6th and 7th. Just behind them is Trey Hollywood, Cameron Norton, Thomas Kohick, Jesse Carlson, Rob Shin, Alex Tesdall. Whoa, contact was made there between the 16 and the 99. 99 went up and found the outside wall in turn 2. Good action all over this racetrack. They're all chasing Matt Smith in the 10. He's beginning to drive away a little bit, and it's been a common theme in this race on the restarts. Track position has been critical. If you're not in one of those first 2 rows, it seems like you kind of get held up and you have to battle with these drivers. And while you're doing that, the top 1 or 2 drivers are driving away. And the question becomes, does anybody have enough time to run down Matt Smith in the 10? Pardon me. To the inside goes Jordan Dorsek in the 74, and he's looking for the 2nd position on Aaron Garcia in the 98. Jason Doro in the 08 just behind both of them. Watching this side-by-side battle. And remember, I've been talking a lot through stage 1 and stage 2. It seemed like whenever that 08 car found breathing room and the longer that the run got, he was consistently able to drive his way forward. Right now he's running in 4th, and all of these drivers have plenty of time to run down the race leader, Matt Smith. Arguably has been the strongest car of the race, though, so it's going to be interesting to see if anybody can kind of get clear of this traffic and maybe drive their heart out to run down that number 10. Jordan's there in 2nd. Aaron Garcia slips to 3rd. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They're kind of in their own group here, running similar lines with each other as they work through 1 and 2 now. Justin Franklin in the 11 car scored in 6th. Needs a win to get himself into the playoffs, and he's been running inside the top 7 or 8 for most of this race. In the final stage here now on the lead lap and in 6th position. Can't ask for much better than that. He's gaining ground on this 2nd group of cars just in front of him, and he's getting a good push from Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61. It's Trey Hollywood behind them, running in the 8th position in that number 8 car. Oh, and I think he got the apron right in front of Cameron Norton. Cameron had nowhere to go, and I think he got into the back bumper of the 8 car and helped him around a little bit. Teammates there. Trey Hollywood comes into this. Oh, it happens. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. Looked like he got the apron just in front of you, and that's how quickly it can happen. Trey Hollywood needs a win here in this race to advance his way into the playoffs, but that's certainly not going to help.
I don't think we've ever done one of these for a short track racing, but what do you think we crank it up on a short track tonight?
Problems for Trenton Krentz in the 36 car. He's parked on pit road, motionless. The 2-time NASCAR world champion from Gran Turismo Sport. He had a good run going. Was on the lead lap here for the start of this final stage, so that's a shame for him. And we can certainly do that. Matt Smith is your race leader. Jordan Dorsek is in 2nd. Aaron Garcia in the 98 car is in 3rd. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 runs in 4th. Jason Doro runs in 5th. And they're all chasing the 2020 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, Matt Smith. We're going to crank it up, folks. Grab that volume knob and turn it sky high. And crank it down, folks. We're going to bring you back to full commentary. And they're all chasing Matt Smith in the 10. And folks, don't look now, but Aaron Garcia in the 98 car is actually beginning to gain some ground on him a little bit. Jordan Dorsek right behind him in the 74, running in third. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 runs in fourth. Jason Doro rounds out the top 5. The highest running driver that needs a win to get into the playoffs is Dustin Franklin in the 11 car, scored in 6th. And there you see the gap to the leader, and we have a change for second. Jordan in the 74 dives down to the inside. He completes the pass as they come out of turn 4.
Well, we got 20 laps, so are we going to see a new winner, or is Matt Smith going to take it home?
We're going to find out. 20 to go. Jordan takes second. Aaron Garcia in third. Josh got a little loose coming out of turn 2. That most recent time by, but he saves it, and he still holds on to fourth. And give a call to Jeffrey Robinson Jr., the driver of the 61, all the way up into the 7th position. It looked like he was struggling with the handling of that car for stage 1. Stage 2, the car came to life, and since then he's driven his way up into 7th, and he's not done yet.
Don't look now. I'm coming.
Good battle for second and third. Good battle for fourth and fifth. And it's all happening behind Matt Smith by probably, I think, about a second and a half between Matt and these drivers running second and third. And we'll have to see if the the drivers in second and third can reel in the race leader a little bit better with the 74 leading the charge. Maybe he's the quicker car as the run goes along. Aaron Garcia in the 98 is still right there with them. They're taking very similar lines getting into turn 3. Just behind them, Josh in the 7, Jason in the 08. They've kind of lost a bit more ground to these two drivers while battling amongst each other. Dustin Franklin in the 11 has reeled them in as well just a little bit. No cautions all race long for on-track incidents. And if it all holds green and all hold station the way they are right now, I believe that they need to come to pit road before the end of this race, but we're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter Alex Tesdall to find out a bit more about their pit stop situation.
Fuel can make it, but tires may be close.
So it's going to be a similar story to what we saw maybe earlier tonight at Darlington Raceway. Thanks for the insights on that. And good luck to you. Good luck to Cameron as well. Good luck to all these drivers that are going to try to manage these tires. That might have even been why these drivers began to reel in the leader just a little bit. Who knows? Maybe he's saving those 4 Goodyear Eagles. The battle still rages on for 4th and 5th here. Josh has not given up, and neither is Jason in that 08 car. And both of these drivers have been up there in the top 5 pretty much all race long. Good cars since the start of this race and looking to finish up front as well. Both drivers locked into the playoffs. Jason in the 08 has 3 wins and he's 3rd in the point standings. Josh in the 7, no wins, but he's got a lot of points and he's in there based on points. Dustin Franklin trying to get the underdog win here tonight. Comes in needing a win to get into the playoffs. He came into this race 32 points behind Jason Armstrong, the driver of the 12. Neither one of them have gotten too much in the way of stage points. As of now, he's still 30 points behind Armstrong. And it's going to take a win at this point for him to punch his ticket into the playoffs. We're going to keep our eye on that 11 car as the laps wind down to see if he can start progressing his way towards the front. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is in the 7th position. Cameron Norton, the pole sitter, running an 8.
Coming 10 to go.
You heard it from Cameron. 10 laps to go. Cameron's having a good battle there with Thomas Kohick, the driver of the 07 car. He runs in 9th. So it's actually it's a 3-car battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Next car behind them is Jesse Carlson in the 20, and he's scored in the 10th position. A lot of these drivers are still on the lead lap and have a shot to win this thing if something were to happen late in this race to Matt Smith, Jordan Dorsek, short track race, and we've seen anything happen here before in these NASCAR MotorMaster Series races. We're going to bring it back up to the front of the field now and keep our eye on the race leaders from pretty much from here to the finish. We don't want to miss anything. And as you can see, Jordan's actually closing in on Matt Smith a little bit. It's the 10, the 74, and the 98 that have the best shot to win this race. And unless anything drastic happens, it's going to be one of those three that parks in the victory lane. Again, folks, stay tuned for the post-race interviews after the event. It's round 29 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. 20 drivers entered the race. It's a 125 lap event, and they're all chasing Matt Smith in the 10. Just in front of them, there's two cars battling for position. It's Timmy Brown in the 8, Jordan Roughton in the 18. No contact was made, I don't believe, but Timmy Brown, it's Trey Hollywood rather, taking that position. Keep forgetting the switch. Timmy Brown now driving the 9 car, and the leader's going back into turn 1.
Five to go.
5 laps to go, and this one question becomes, can the tires hold? And around went Aaron Garcia in the 98 car. He's going to pit road. He must have blown a tire, I'm not too sure, but he spun exiting turn 4, and that's a heartbreaker because he was in the 3rd place spot. And this is where it becomes critical. Can your tires make it? So 4 laps to go now, and the 2 leaders are in heavy lap traffic. Matt Smith in the 10, Jordan Dorsek in the 74. They both had to carefully work their way past Jordan Roughton and Trey Hollywood. They have Alex Tesdall just in front of them. Alex is a teammate to the 10 car. Might cut him some slack, might not. 3 laps to go.
Leaders are coming to 2 to go.
Oh, okay, 2 laps to go now, and
They're
Jordan
clicking.
Dorsek has spun over on the front straightaway, I do believe.
Out.
And we have a caution on the racetrack. I think it's because Jordan in the 74 blew a tire. He went down and made heavy contact with the inside wall, and this really opens the door, folks. This gives everybody a golden opportunity to go out there and win this race. Alex Tesdall in the 16, he survived and stays on the lead lap for this restart.
What do you go with, 4 or 2?
Oh,
I
man.
think I'm going to throw it 2. I'm taking the 2 because I'm right up here.
The question is, you guys are going to restart with 2 to go. The question is somebody maybe even going to stay out? I know the tires are not looking good, but...
They ain't going to make it stay out. No way.
Okay. Hey, thanks for letting me know. And wow, look at this. Jason Doro, Dustin Franklin, Cameron Norton, and Jeffrey Robinson Jr. They're going for it. Dustin in the 11, keep your eye on him. He needs a win to get into the playoffs. The green flag is back in the air. Cameron Norton's looking for his first career win. 2 to go. Up the hill and into the wall went Dustin in the 11. His shot to win is over here. Matt Smith goes to the bottom on the 08 car as they go through 3 and 4. Out of 4, the white flag is in the air. Contact made between teammates. Jeffrey and Jesse both held on to it. Jordan Dorsek pinched the 7 car heavy into the inside wall. They all held on to it. Down the back straightaway, they're all chasing the 10. And the 7 put the 74 up in the wall, I think.
And caution's out.
They're yellow.
And the caution is out to end the race, and Matt Smith wins the Richmond 250. 8th win of the season for him, and 2 away from tying the all-time record for most wins in a single season set by Noco last year on NASCAR Heat 4. What a race, what a finish. Make sure you guys get results, pictures for me.
Alrighty. I was going for it, man. We had it.
And it looked like a lot of yous were going for it for sure. Dustin Franklin did some strategy there on his pit stop to get up there and be in 2nd for the restart. Jason Doro in the 08 car, same thing. And we saw contact made between the 74 and the 7 multiple different times there on that last restart. Wild, chaotic finish there, coming to the checkered flag to end the race here at Richmond. Fastest lap of the race, I believe, went to NASCAR King Josh in the 7 car. He was strong all race long. And what a race, what a finish. It was the final race of the regular season for the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series. Stay tuned for post-race interviews. Who was second and third, guys? And let the post-race interviews begin, folks. We're going to start with the driver who finished in third. It was a quiet day for the driver of the 20 car, Jesse Carlson. He's more known for his road course racing abilities, not only here on NASCAR Heat 5, but on Gran Turismo Sport as well. But he quietly worked his way forward and found himself in the top 5 near the end of this one. It was a wild, chaotic restart, and he parked it in third here at the end of the day and finished in third at Richmond International Raceway. First of all, congratulations on your podium. It's another playoff point for you. Drivers who finish in second and third at the end of these races are given that one playoff point. You've earned another to go along with your total. And we had to ask you, what was going through your mind on that last restart? We saw a little bit of everything there. Cars were bouncing off each other. There was a lot at stake. A lot of drivers needed a win to get into the playoffs. And what was going through your mind, and how were you trying to manage all of that and get the best possible finish for yourself?
Well, first off, I do apologize for the last restart, but we'll get that to here in a bit. Stage 1, it went pretty good. I was just trying to save tires and all that. Save early and use it at the end. And then Stage 2 went well. But yeah, whenever that caution came out, that only brought flashbacks to the Bristol race we had. And so yeah, I was telling everyone in there, I'm like, I am not playing around. I am going for it. I wasn't playing around. And like I said, I do apologize for doing that. I just wanted to get up there as fast as I could, but I made sure not to bump people up towards the outside wall. I made sure to keep it aggressively clean.
It was a clean race from the start of the race all the way to the finish. We only saw one caution for an on-track incident, and it happened with only a couple of laps to go. And like I mentioned, and like you just mentioned, it set up for a wild and an exciting finish. How was the car feeling for you up until that point, and where were you positioned to finish?
I'm pretty sure if the caution didn't come out, I would have stayed in 10th, and it seemed like everyone else was managing their tires, and I thought no one was going to make it, but they all did. And yeah, like I went loose on my car and everything. It was the last lap, so yeah. Great job, everyone.
Another playoff point for you, and you have wins this season. You have good momentum going for you, and it's a good time to have good momentum as well because the playoffs are now beginning. 7 playoff races ahead of you. How focused are you, and what have you been doing to prepare yourself for these 7 races?
Well, since the playoffs are coming, it is time to practice more and everything, and make sure to make it to the championship 4. I did really good there in the spring race in this season, and if I make it, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take it easy neither. I'm going for the championship if I can get it.
You have wins in 2021 in the Cup Series, MotorMaster Series, and the Truck Series. What has been the key to your success on NASCAR Heat 5?
Well, I don't know. It's just been making sure I can just race well and have a good race, and yeah.
Well, you heard it, folks. That was Jesse Carlson, driver of the number 20 Toyota Supra, parking it in 3rd place here at the end of the Richmond 250. Congratulations.
Yep, thank you, and have fun with those 15 extra playoff points, Flash.
Do we have the 74 in here?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Declining an interview is Jordan Dorsek in the 74, who finished in 2nd here tonight at Richmond. So off to victory lane we go. And Matt Smith and the number 10 team are there celebrating here in victory lane for the 8th time in the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season on NASCAR Heat 5. You're now tied for the most amongst all the active drivers this season for wins in 2021 here in the MotorMaster Series, and you're 2 away from tying that record for most wins in a single season, held by NOCO. Just last year set that on Heat 4. Take us through that wild restart, actually, because you had good track position all race long. You won both stages. You had the dominant car, it seemed, and then for that caution that came out with 2 or 3 laps remaining, it set up for a 2-lap restart, and you were not in the first 2 rows, I don't believe, for the restart. So take us through those final couple of laps. Tell us how you were able to work your way back to the lead.
Oh, it was wild. You know, I kind of figured at least a couple guys would give 2 tires a shot. I mean, it was near the end of the run. I mean, we had just run, you know, almost a full fuel tank there, so the tires, you know, all around were getting pretty eaten up. So I was pretty confident. Just restarting on the inside, you know, helped even more. And I think with these Xfinity cars on preset at this track, it was so hard to wrap the bottom. It's just like going into the turns, the nose just wanted to bounce real bad. And I don't know I think Mucka, you know, he missed the turn, and I think Bowman even slid up a little bit, and it was, I had to go. You know, I had the 74 right behind me, and you know, had Bowman kept it on the bottom, I probably would have shoved his butt into the lead if I had to, and look for an opening. But you know, we had a really clean race up until whatever happened there at the end. But really glad to pull this one off, though. It would have been disappointing not to finish it.
You just won the regular season championship. That's another 15 playoff points to your already impressive total. You're all but locked into the round of 4 pretty much at this point. You basically just need to go out there and get some decent finishes under your belt in the round of 12 and the round of 8. How confident are you heading into the playoffs? How happy are you with your regular season thus far?
I've been very happy. You know, I come into every Monday with you know, at least some level of confidence, but I'm not arrogant to the point where I'm expecting to win any race. And you know, Darlington before this race was a perfect example of that. So you know, anything can happen, and I was you know, aware of everything going around me the entire race here at Richmond, and just trying to drive to the best of my ability, you know, while taking care of everybody else around me, and just trying to, consistency has been the key, for this whole season, as well as the Cup Series on Fridays so far, so we'll just try to keep it going.
Who do you consider your biggest competition for the championship this year?
Well, I mean, the 74 is an obvious answer. He's been very fast, and I believe the championship race is at Phoenix, and I know he's really good there. And he would be one. I know the 7 car, NASCAR King, is, and as well as NASCAR Oof. They have a couple tracks here and there that aren't necessarily their strong points, but all you need is, one that they agree with, and, they could be in contention to win as well. So, there's a handful of guys for sure. Mucka's definitely, I guess you could call him a sleeper, but he's really not, because he's always there, just looking to pounce on any mistakes that are made. So, there's at least 4, on my mind, and we'll just try to outrun them. That's all you can do.
Like I mentioned, 8 wins this season in 2021 for MotorMaster, 3 Cup wins in the first 7 races in 2021, and now you're making your first ever NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series start tomorrow in the Eldora Derby 150. You're driving the number 40 Chevy Silverado. Tell us about that, and tell us how excited you are for that event. You have a chance to become the 10th different Triple Crown winner in NOSSCAR.
I think it'll be pretty cool. I appreciate the invite to that race, and, the goal is always to win. I'm never put a ton of time into dirt on the Heat franchise games, so I feel like I lack a little bit from some of the other guys that will be in the race, but not racing for a championship or anything like that, just try to go in, see what kind of speed we have tomorrow, and just be aware, the guys that are trying to win the race and compete for points, and we'll just try to see where we stack up early on, and I think I need to pick up a couple of tenths to catch some of the guys who are looking to compete for the win, but hopefully we can find it, and we'll try to get that Ross Chastain truck to the front, and if not, I'll just have a good time cruising around in the middle of the pack.
You just won the Richmond 250. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
I would like to really just shout out everyone that raced tonight, and throughout the season. I had a run-in with the 18 at Darlington, and, he messaged me privately after the race, and, we got everything straightened out. There's no hard feelings, and, the guys that I ran up on, they were going a lap down, but they were still, very respectful, and, I know the frustration of trying to get better, but all these guys, they've shown up every race so far this season trying to get better and improve, and I just, would like to put the word out there that I respect everyone. I'll race them as clean as I can. If they have any questions, they can message me, any tips or tricks that they want to learn. I'm here, to answer those, and there's no secret to really hide. If you want to get better and be dedicated, then I'll answer the questions. And I was working with Dust Bunnies a little bit the last couple weeks, try to get him a little bit closer, but just had a little bit too much of a point gap to make up. But we'll keep trying to get these college cars in victory lane.
Well, you're doing a great job so far, that's for sure. Congratulations on another win.
All right, thank you so much, and congrats on your win at Darlington, and hopefully we'll see everyone Friday.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that. That was my first NASCAR MotorMaster Series win since 2018, back on NASCAR Heat 2 at Watkins Glen, and I only won that Watkins Glen race because Fluffy, Cody Giles, blew a tire. So yeah, thanks very much for that. Still can't believe I won Darlington earlier. But the man of the hour, this race was all about. Driver of the 10, Matt Smith, he wins the Richmond 250. He wins the regular season championship as well. Claims those additional 15 playoff points to his already impressive total, and he's arguably the favorite to win the championship this year for the 2021 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series. And we're going to throw it down before we sign out to our in-race reporters. First, starting with Cameron Norton, driver of the number 1 Chevy Camaro. Cameron, you qualified on the pole for this race. You led the first 4 or 5 laps of the event. The car looked strong. It just seemed like a lot of other drivers brought their A game as well, and you got lost in the shuffle until later on in the race when you kind of soldiered back. Give us a rundown on how your race went from your perspective, and tell us how happy you are to be a part of the playoffs.
I didn't really think we were going to make it all this far. You know, we didn't really show speed. We showed speed early on in the season, and I just been kind of keeping my eye on Flash. You know, he's my competition, so is JWoww. You know, it's like I have to be up there with him to be able to compete. So tonight we brought our A game. We sat on the pole, which feels amazing. We haven't done that in a while. I also think that we grinded all night tonight, adjusted on the race car a lot tonight just to make it so much better. In that final stage, it was so good. We were moving up the field, and in that final restart, we were like, we're gonna gamble because, you know, there's 2 laps to go. It couldn't hurt. And I was hoping Flash would probably push me to the win there, but I stood up the racetrack, and there he goes flying by. But I'm thanking all my sponsors on this, to everybody, to Timex Motorsports for bringing great race cars tonight. Hopefully the boss man is proud of my races tonight, and we're going to keep grinding, and we're going to go for wins this season in the playoffs. I'm not stopping.
Always proud. Good job on a good run tonight. And throwing it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall, driver of the 16 car. Alex, you have 2 wins this season. You're locked into the playoffs. You've been locked in for quite some time, ever since you got that big win at Bristol, I believe it was, then followed it up with another one at Dover, Bristol's big brother. Tell us how your run went at Richmond here tonight, and tell us how excited you are to be a playoff driver again this year.
To be honest, we sucked. But somehow scraped the top 10 out of that in the end with that last restart. And about the playoffs, yeah, definitely looking forward to them. We've been in a bit of a slump recently, but I think we could turn that around in the playoffs and make a deep run.
Good job on a top 10 finish here tonight, and best of luck to you in the playoffs.
Thank you.
That was Alex Tesdall and Cameron Norton, 2 in-race reporters for tonight's race. And once again, we are saying congratulations to the driver of the number 10 car for his big win here tonight. Another one, his 8th win of the season, Matt Smith, the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, looking to become the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series champion. And he's looking really strong as of late, arguably the favorite to get it done. Thanks to everybody who tuned in for MotorMaster Monday. I'm NASCAR CEO Tyler McMurder. They were Cameron Norton and Alex Tesdall. And until next time, we're saying so long and stay fast.